The foundation of our struggles with OCD can often be some unhelpful beliefs we've been trying to adhere to for a long time. We might believe we need to be able to control and regulate our emotions. We might believe recovery from mental illness is not possible. We might believe we can't handle difficult experiences. We might believe we need to deserve things in life. We might believe making mistakes is bad. We might believe we are our thoughts. We might believe people will like us once we're successful. We might believe we can't handle judgment from others, and the list goes on. These beliefs we have about the world really shape our behavior, and they can create a lot of struggle. If we believe making mistakes is bad, then we might avoid responsibility or we might avoid opportunities that would actually improve our lives. If we believe people will like us once we're successful, we might spend a lot of time chasing achievements instead of spending that time connecting with people. If we believe we need to be able to regulate and control our emotions, we might get very frustrated when that doesn't work, and we might avoid certain situations if we aren't feeling like ourselves. So let's take a look of how an unhelpful belief can create more and more struggle in our life and eventually take on the form of OCD. Let's zoom in on that last belief I mentioned previously: I can't handle judgment from others. Maybe at first we try to avoid judgment by people pleasing, always agreeing with other people, not voicing our own opinion, avoiding conflict at all costs. But then somebody might get mad at us and it's the worst. We ruminate on it for days, and that belief that we should avoid judgment from others will only grow. The brain starts being on high alert for all the ways in which people might judge us. What if I said something bad at that party when I was drunk and I don't remember? I better text the person to check if they're mad at me. And this might seem innocent at first, but it's these actions that reinforce that belief. And the brain will only want to check on it more, just to make sure. The brain might throw up a thought about harming others, and we freak out because if that would happen, people would really hate us. So we try and avoid and control those thoughts at all costs, and we check whether we would act on it or not. But that only adds fuel to the fire, and the brain starts thinking of more ways in which we might harm others and be hated by others because of it. And at this point we might get diagnosed with OCD, but as you can see, the struggle started way earlier. It's that unhelpful belief that we've been following that's created so much struggle in our lives. Changing beliefs is about changing actions. Being aware of the unhelpful belief is super useful in identifying where we want to change our actions and where we want to do things differently. But it's about just that, doing things differently. Just knowing your unhelpful beliefs won't change things. You have to make changes. It helps to make changes across the board. Accepting that uncertainty around harming others will bring up super intense and wrong feelings, and that's great practice. But cutting out those people-pleasing compulsions is super useful too, and that will feel very wrong as well. And if we change our actions across the board, then there's no need for the brain to check on those uncertainties anymore. However, it's always good to mention that this is not about getting rid of brain stuff. It's about changing our actions. I will sometimes see people say things along the lines of the brain just doesn't learn, or I've changed my behavior, but the brain is still throwing up intrusive thoughts. It can be really helpful to just let the brain do whatever. The goal is not to clean away experiences. The goal is to live a better life. Changing beliefs is not about having the brain act differently, but it's about us acting differently. And the brain might learn, and it might not. A big support with making changes is making them unreasonably. So there doesn't need to be a specific reason, because if we're looking for reasons, the brain will just provide very logical reasons for us to fall back into old behavior and do the old compulsions. Once we're getting into a debate with the brain, we're losing the debate. It's about doing things unreasonably, not debating the brain on it, and just doing them. So I hope you can let go of some unhelpful beliefs and do it unreasonably.